Alright, welcome back to another video. It is Saturday and that means it is parkrun day. Not for me because I hate parkrun, but for Ben, my brother, he's going to try and break 20 minutes for the first time today. So we're going to go down and give him a cheer. I was going to pace him, but I had a massage yesterday and I've woken up feeling quite sick. So maybe that's from that, maybe I've just picked up a bit of a cold. But I'm going to go really easy today, which fits because today we're going to be talking about all things Ultra Trail Tarawera. We just came back from that last weekend. I tried to make a really cool video there, but it didn't really flow together right, but we have so much awesome footage and the weekend was just way too cool not to make a video about it, make sure I don't get hit by a car. So I'm going to do this. We're going to see if we can cheer Ben to his first sub 25k and then go talk all things trail running and ultra marathoning while I'm on the bike. So if you want to skip to that, I'll have a little timestamp here. And then, yeah, I hope you don't because this is exciting. Ben's going for sub 20. He's never done that before. He's getting into high rocks. And I know before you start to go on about that, but he's doing it the right way. He's going to be a fast runner first. So let's go down, see if we can get him under 20 minutes, but let's start the run. Nice and easy today. Even though it's annoying, sometimes you got to listen to your body. Go Ben. Woo! All right, made it back from the park run. Unfortunately, what's happened? It's moved. All right, take two. Tripod moved. So, made it back from park run. Ben was on track really well through 3K, and then he has a bit of an issue with his shins at the moment, and they were hurting pretty bad, so he decided to stop. But I think his splits were like 357, 357, 358, and he was feeling good. So that's a good sign that he's going to do well at his race next weekend. But just got to get through this little shin thing. But anyway, we're back. We're on the bike, and it's time to talk about all things Tarawera Ultra by UTMB. So I've got my cheat sheet here. You're not going to see much of me after this. It's pretty much going to be all voiceover because, being really honest, I got really bummed out over there at the race. I was having so much fun being there, and it was so cool to be there and just watch and be involved in the event. But it just felt like another race they ended up having to pull out of. And I got quite bummed out in the days before it. I tried to make my video. Didn't really flow very well when I started to edit it yesterday. And that's why it's part of the journey, it's part of everything. I want to share it. It's, I just was a bit down and having a great time, but you know, it's hard. But watching the race was so motivating to get back fitter and stronger and keep going. So that's it. So let's just jump into the race. Whole video is just going to be recapping everything to do with the race. Sort of mainly following the front. That's where we were watching. And then there's a couple spots that we weren't because we were out there helping the people we were there with. But anyway, so bright and early, 2 a.m. start. 100 miler started at, I think 4 or 5 in the morning. So we had to be out at the cultural centre. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name. I'll put it up here because I'll butcher it, in Rotorua. And that was for the 100-mile start. So it's sort of the headliners of the 100 miler were definitely like Sam Harvey and a couple of other guys. But that was really cool to watch that start, the sort of the traditional Maori welcome. They did the haka before it, which was very cool. But then we had to jump in the car, head back to where we were staying, and Dad had to jet out to the 100k start to get that. I went over to the 50k start to get that start. That was a couple of hours later at about 6. There were some really fast guys in that, and some really fast ladies. Trying to see some people I knew. I didn't quite spot them on the start, but I did spot them later. But anyway, we went through there, and then after that, it was kind of a couple of hours of downtime before we headed out to Blue Lake, which is named pretty well because it's a giant blue lake. And that's where, just as we were getting there, the leaders of the men's 50k were rolling through. It was Hayden Hawkes, Robbie Simpson, and Michael Voss. They were all right together, separated by no more than 50 meters. It was really cool, and we stayed there. We were waiting for a couple people we knew. Jack Gill, who runs on the Gold Coast, he was right up there. We were waiting for him to come through. Just before he came through, we saw the leader of the women's race in the 50, and she had a massive lead. That was Bianca Tarabutton. I probably said that horrifically, but she had a commanding lead over second, a huge lead over second actually. And then it was our first jump in the car, the first time we had a bit of downtime. So I picked up the camera and went over a couple things. All right, first time we've had a bit of moment to pause today. We're in the car heading back to the start finish line, which is
the village green,
just down there on the village green. We're trying to get there before the winners of the 50k start to come in. It's a very close race at the moment between Michael Voss, Robbie Simpson, and Hayden Hawkes. So we're trying to rush mad quickly back to get there, and then we know another couple of people that are doing really well too. Jack is doing awesome, so we're going to try and get there back. We're going to try and get back there for him, and here we are now. So we're going to jump out of the car and run straight over to the finish line because it's going to be a good finish. Then was trying to race the leaders from Blue Lake back to the village green, which was where the finish line was, because Blue Lake is only one aid station away from the finish. So that was a bit of a mad dash to get over to see the 50k men's winners. We got first and second coming through. First was Hayden Hawkes in 3 hours 18:46, which is absolutely wild. Here's a little bit of his speech after.
Oh man, I usually do 100k, 100 mile. Dropping down to 50k is always really tough. Those boys were pushing me out there. I had to stay patient early on because it was just too fast for me. So I just kind of like tried to work my way up as we went, but it was fast. It was very fast, but I'm really happy that I was pushed to my limits today and had a great performance.
So we went through the Redwoods aid station, about 8 kilometres to go. Robbie's just 7 seconds adrift. At what point did you think you had this race? Did you think it was yours then?
Not at all. I couldn't seem to catch Robbie. I was just like, oh, he's probably going to beat me because it felt like we were running the same pace. Like I just couldn't close the gap. And then just I think with about 4 or 5k to go, I started closing finally, and I was like, hey, maybe I can have this, you know?
Thank you, Hank.
Second was Robbie Simpson in 3:20.01. Third was Michael Voss in 3:23.13, which is, man, that's so fast. But you know, I got to go out on some of the trails after, and you can see why they ran so quick. I mean, they're just class runners, but that is such a fast trail. After that, winner of the women's 50 came in. We managed to just be there in time for her to come through, and that was Bianca Tarabutton. I'm sure you'll hear the announcer saying it in this. I might mute myself. And see that, she ran 3:45.55, which is just wild. Madison Reynolds was second and Julia Grant was third in 4:11 and 4:13. So Bianca definitely rinsed them. They all ran so fast. Then Jack finished, Jack Gill. He ran 3:59.42. He had a great run. It was cool to see him over there, and his partner Courtney. She wasn't racing, but being a good supporter for that one. So Jack will have to return the favour one day for another race. But it was cool to see them. He had a great run. I sort of jumped over to this next little bit, which was just, I'm going to leave it in. I'm not sure how well it fits, but I'm going to leave it in because it was just bummed about not being able to race. I walked back over to the Terek's house to have a look. Well, we've got a little break in the action. We're waiting for the 100k winner to run in now. He's at about 87k. So he's on track for like 15-ish hours, which is absolutely wild. But come over to a bit more of a quiet spot because the FOMO has definitely set in. I missed out on running this year, obviously. Or if you haven't seen, I strained my calf and missed out on running, which was a real bummer, but it's very, very cool to be here still and just makes the motivation even higher to come back next year, which we'll definitely be back now. We'll be back next year for sure. But we've got a little minute now to sort of recharge, waiting for Dad before we head out for the night. It's already, what time is it? It's 2 o'clock. So the winner of the 100k should be in by about 2:30ish. The winner of the 100 mile should be in about 7:30ish tonight. And then we're heading out all night to chase some of the people that we know and that we're here helping, which is going to be very cool. But little minute to sort of just chill and sort of accept that you didn't get to race this year. But definitely more motivation to come back next year after being here. It's such an absolutely stunning place that, you know, how can you be upset even if you're not getting to race? So let's get back out onto the trails. But anyway, after, now you've seen that, so you saw why. All right, after that we jetted out to Redwoods aid station, which is the last checkpoint before the finish. It was really cool to get out there. We missed seeing the men's 100k winner going through there, but we were there to see Ruth Croft and Caitlin Fielder go through the 100k. The 100k women's 1-2 go through there, and they were flying. It was they're all Team Terex, so it's not surprising that they're good. But yeah, that was very cool. Then unfortunately we couldn't get to the finish to watch any of the 100k winners finish. But the 100k podium was Daniel Jones in 7:17, Hiroki Kai, I probably butchered his name, so sorry, but in 7:48, and Adam McDonald in 7:51. The women's podium was Ruth Croft in 8:24, Caitlin Fielder 8:30, then Beth McKenzie in 8:46. We didn't get to the finish for them because we were chasing Jeremy, one of the people we were there with, out at Blue Lake again, coming through his 100k. So cut to that. We're just going to camp out right here and wait for Jeremy, one of the guys that we're here helping, to come through and give him a big cheer through his first 100k. So let's go down, have a look at the lake and wait to catch him. Jeremy had a great run. I think he would have liked to have gone a little faster, but for his first 100k he did so well. 11:36.26. So big clap for Jeremy, big clap for Jack. They did very well. After that, things sort of got a bit chaotic for us. We were chasing all different people in the group we were with around. We managed to get to the finish for Sam Harvey winning the 100 miler. And oh my goodness, all the leaders just ran so fast today. He ran 15:16, 15 hours, 16 minutes for 100 miles with 3,700 meters elevation, which for a 100 miler is not a lot, but it's still wild. I'm going to put up his speech now and let you listen to that. So, yeah, peeing blood from 110k. I'm not sure how I would have felt about that, but he was able to push through. The 100-miler podium, Sam Harvey, Simon Cochran, and Ryan Whelan. I'm bad with pronouncing last names, especially when I can hardly read them. And then the women's 100-miler, really wanted to get out to watch the finish of that too, but it just got crazy. It was about 9 o'clock at night. We had other people that we had to chase. So unfortunately we didn't get out there for that, but it was Kamiko Miguzaka, Emma Titmus, and Sarah Parkins in 7:40, 18:50, and then 19:11. And I apologize again for the bad pronunciation of her name. I'll put it all up here. That was my cheat sheet. It was just a wild weekend. It was so much fun. Watching everyone, seeing all the top people go through. So much motivation to get back. But hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of it. I'm just proud of myself for making it this week, because I wasn't going to make a video. I was a bit bummed out and I'm not feeling 100% today, and you start to down spiral. So might not be the best video, but hopefully it was a nice little recap of the race. Some really pretty footage and some awesome photos that Dad got while we're there. Some of my favourite photos he's ever taken, actually, I think. So I'm going to throw it back to me, who was still in New Zealand. We managed to sneak out into the redwood forest on Monday morning before we drove back to Auckland to fly home, and I'll close the video out there. So make sure you subscribe, keep building it, keep getting better, 1% better each week. I'll see you next week. So enjoy. Oh my goodness. Ultra Trail, Tarawera, you did not disappoint. Didn't end up getting to catch the miles. Didn't end up getting to catch the win of the women's mile because I gotta walk. We were chasing other people. It just didn't end up being practical, which really sucked because she ran an amazing race. I'm gonna put the full splits from every race up after this. Make sure you watch that, see how amazing everyone ran. But wow, I had to sneak out this morning into the redwood forest to go for at least one run through here. Oh, that was a bittersweet weekend. It was so much fun to be here, but it definitely hurt being out again. This is becoming a bit too much of a common theme for me, getting so close to a race and then doing something slightly before it that makes me have to drop out. But I tell you, it was a bit down coming into it, but this just recharged everything, this race. I'm so ready to go home, get everything fit and strong again and start racing. And 2026 we will be back here, be racing down this exact path in the 23 hopefully. So 2026 Tarawera Ultra, we will be back. This was just too incredible of a weekend, and like far out. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. But it's time for me to catch a flight home back to the Gold Coast, get everything going again. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment. What was the first trail run you did? And yeah, here's the results. I'll see you next week.